What's going on there, y'all? Evil Dead Burn. Guys, I've seen this movie twice in theaters, and I can say that this movie, guys, is for me up to par with the top three in the Evil Dead franchise. All right. Now, I did my Evil Dead ranking, guys. If you guys want to go and hear my thoughts on those, that's up and available to go and check out. But guys, sincerely, I'm telling you, this fucking Evil Dead Burn right here is up there with my favorite movie of the year. This movie personally has surpassed Backrooms, maybe even Obsession. All right. Now, I know Obsession is its own lane. People are obsessed. They fucking love it. But Evil Dead Burn, it's really refreshing to have a new take on, a fresh director bringing his own French stamp on it. That's another thing, guys, is I love the Frenchness of this Evil Dead. It's something different. It's not as grungy, as grimy as 2013. It's not that classical feel. It really just has like this modern, new French, even a different camera work and color take on it, different take on Deadites, foreign languages. Just a different take on action and executing scenes. A lot of one takes. Evil Dead's always had one takes with them being chased by the entities, but I'm talking one takes with action scenes like John Wick. That is something Evil Dead, this is new for them. Flying Deadites, kicking ass. Deadites fighting each other, fucking each other up, fighting, you know what I mean? Like, having guns, shit like this. Shit's intense in this one, guys. Even having battles in the car, you know what I mean? The setting, the versatility setting in this Evil Dead Burn, really refreshing. Although, guys, you know what I mean? I'm sure that I'm not the only one on this boat, would love to have another take on an Evil Dead Burn in the cabin and things like that, you know what I mean? Just having it like that classic feel and shit like that, being in there and then having it just be real dark and eerie and fucking just demonic, really is like the term. This one, guys, is really more about being mean. This one right here, guys, has a mean tone to it, a lot of viciousness, and this family, just the way they treat each other, talk to each other, and it is just fucking ballsy, guys. So to start off, guys, I want to go and tell you what we're in for. The storyline, it's really just, it's a different storyline. And another thing, guys, the storyline of this, really comparison to 100 Feet and An Invisible Man, all right, with the abusive husbands. With the abusive husbands and Invisible Man and 100 Feet. Movies like that, guys, they've always been highlights for me. I always love that, battle of these relationships, abusive relationships where a girl stands her ground against this fuckhead and then kicks his ass and kills him. It happens every time. It happens every time. Like, the girl makes a stand and then just kills him all around, whether he's dead or if he's like, back from the dead, alive, whatever the case is. These girls make a stand, kick the ass, kill him, get rid of him, dispose of him, and then we have our final girl. I'm telling you guys, so with this storyline, something very different, something similar. Something that's been done before, not to this extreme, but something that has been done before. And I personally love the takes that we get from this Evil Dead. It's something different. It's something refreshing. It's something dark. More of a story of a family, and not so much of being in the cabin and then in a small group of friends and something, something starting to trip them out. You know what I mean? They're starting to realize about the Necronomicon and then the Deadites. This one is more of a death in the family. There's a funeral. They go to the funeral, and then the family just starts to pick bones with one another. No pun intended. Army of Darkness. Especially that bald Deadite that we've seen in the trailer that's tossing fucking people around tables. That Deadite is one of my favorite Deadites. Deadites. Not characters, Deadites. And the whole fucking franchise. I'm telling you, that dude right there brings it. He's mean. He's vicious. The acting is fucking just 100%. He's evil. He does some fucked up stuff in this movie. He looks crazy. The makeup is insane. He's genuine. You guys see where he's coming from. He plays the father of one of the sons. Now, I don't want to give any spoilers here, guys, to really dive deep. And this is what I do, guys. I'll go and maybe start off the first half, maybe talking a little bit of non-spoilers, and I might get into spoiler territory. I might, just depending on, explaining the story. But guys, the way that fucking dude looks is insane. I think it's terrifying. I think it's spot on. It's different. It's what we need in the franchise. It's a standalone Deadite. And even in that teaser trailer where I seen that bald dude tossing the fucking people around, I knew he was going to stand out just by his meanness and viciousness. And I was like, all right, that fucking Deadite looks crazy right there. So really curious on that. And that executed was really well. All the characters did really well. Alice, the main girl with the pink hair, I think she did really well. The brother Not to give it, major spoilers here, guys, but I'm sure we've seen a little something. He gets his ass handed to him this whole fucking movie. He just gets his ass handed to him, and yeah, guys, it's pretty fucking vicious and hardcore. It doesn't hold back. So with him and pretty much everybody, guys, it's a small cast, the grandma, the brother, the boyfriend, husband, the dad, mom, all this stuff, your family characters. And I really think that everyone brought it. I do hear a lot of people say it doesn't seem like there's a main character, like a main focus or someone we really give a shit about. But I think really, guys, with this particular Evil Dead movie, I think with so much going on in the families and blaming and this and that, I will say maybe that was the least strongest point of this movie was probably the character development. It's not what this movie is about. It's not about really trying to develop characters. It's really just about trying to show you what this person's about, show you what's going on, and then show you them getting killed shortly after. A lot of violence in this movie, guys. Really fast paced. Story really simplistic but very effective. Even a dog deadite that we get in here that I thought was pretty fucking awesome. But yeah, guys, another thing I want to stretch is the settings. We're in a lot of good places, a lot of different places for an Evil Dead movie. Evil Deads are pretty simplistic with their settings, but that's what gives them their character and signature style and flavor. Army of Darkness, medieval times. They're in the pit. They're at the fucking medieval times. They're at the castle. Couple places. Evil Dead, same thing. Coming, to the castle. They're trying to leave, or not the castle, the cabin. And then trying to leave the cabin. And then, so they're at the cabin the whole time. 1 and 2, and even the remakes tend to be about cabins. Evil Dead Rise, apartment buildings. And they were at the apartment building, I'd say fucking 99% of the movie, probably the whole movie. This one, guys, different things. Ending up at a funeral home, ending up on the road, ending up at the house, ending up at... Now, there's some settings, I will say, guys, but I don't want to say to give spoilers, because if I say this, you're going to be like, what the fuck? And I want you guys just to be kind of thrown for a little bit of settings and just, differentness. That's what gives this movie its character, is that you watch, it throws you off. You watch, it throws you off. Now, I heard a lot of people claim predictability. Evil Dead Burn, bullshit. Now, you only know predictability because you know what Evil Deads are like, all right? That's like me saying, hey, I went to go see Halloween 5 and I know what happens. Michael Myers is going to show up. Well, that's what happened in the other 4. But the predictability on this movie, guys, is not what you can call and predict. You can't call... I mean, you can probably do that. He's going to get killed. She is. But it's a horror movie. Everyone's going to probably fucking die. But, it's just all about, on where the camera will pan, what's going to happen, what's the character going to do, what's the scene, how's it going to end, how's it going to start, where are we going to go, is something going to pop out, who's just something. And this movie just always keeps you on your toes, and I love that. I think with Evil Dead, these movies need to be fast-paced and just critical and brutal and just uncomfortable at all times. That is Evil Dead's signature style. Another thing, guys, the scares. Scares/comedy. I want to talk about that. Evil Dead. This movie, guys, isn't necessarily on the scary side. I will say the scariest Evil Dead yet is the 2013 remake. That one right there, guys, is the best when it comes to fearful elements, when it comes to just horror. That one right there, guys, pure horror. I wouldn't say as bloody as Evil Dead Burn, but more horror. Evil Dead Remake 2013 is more horror. Evil Dead Burn is more bloody. I also would say that Evil Dead Burn is more comedy. Evil Dead Burn has a little bit more comedy elements going on, while Evil Dead has just no comedy at all. But that's its thing. Or we're serious, this is horror. It's like Evil Dead 1, really no comedy. Evil Dead 2 comes along, and that one was really more slapstick-ish. Three Stooges, Looney Tunes. You get that kind of style going on there. And I like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Looney Tunes is SpongeBob horror. Okay, maybe not SpongeBob horror, but it's Looney Tunes horror. You know what I mean? Just fucking, Bugs Bunny. But guys, I'm telling you, so with this Evil... And another thing I want to compare. Evil Dead Rise to Evil Dead Burn. Now, guys, I wasn't the biggest fan of Evil Dead Rise. I did find a little bit of corny... shitty elements in that one right there that I wasn't really feeling. Now, another thing I want to go ahead and point out, guys. A lot of people saying Evil Dead Rise was bloody. There was some bloody elements in that. Guys, I don't remember really any bloody elements so much in Evil Dead Rise. I remember some blood here and there and a kid getting thrown at the wall and, chainsawing multiple heads in an elevator with blood. But Nothing that was like, oh, fuck, that was so vicious. Like, nothing like that. Like, this movie theater, guys, and Evil Dead Burn, both times I've seen this shit, everybody was fucking sparked up. Everybody was like, oh, fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, my God. Like, a lot of that. And when I seen Evil Dead Rise, I didn't really hear much of that. So, with that being said, guys, you know, I really gotta say, I really dug Evil Dead Burn a lot more on the Evil Dead Rise side. I dig Evil Dead Burn for its versatility. I think Evil Dead Rise is the most simplistic out of the three. I really dig the mother. I think the mother as a Deadeye is a standout. She's great. She does like her, you know, standalone role and shit that, you know, I think that she's great. And yeah, guys, so with Evil Dead Burn, this movie right here, guys, one thing, you know, another, you know, is really just, I want to praise the fucking blood and gore that we get in this movie right here. I was hearing reviews about this, you know, just nonstop, how this movie's brutal, vicious, and just extremely gory. And I was like, you know what? I hope that you guys aren't just saying that because, you know, there's like, you know, gore falling from the ceiling and gore everywhere, like, you know, just for the sake of it. No one's getting killed, but it's just gory for the sake of being gore. I don't like that shit. I don't like just buckets of blood just falling and then just calling it a bloody movie. No, we need to have kills that are fucking graphic and that show that, like, you know, this is Evil Dead. Like, you know, this is graphic. The kills in this movie, guys, fucking hardcore shit right here. Hardcore shit. This director, you know, he's French. He only made 2 films. His first one was Infested with spiders that came out, I believe, in 2023 or 4 or something like that, a couple years ago. And that movie, guys, very good, R-rated, but not so bloody. You know, that movie, I remember it's not like blood and guts and spiders are ripping out your, you know, your flesh and crazy shit. It's crazy. It's a crazy movie. It's dark, but it's not like Evil Dead. This movie, guys, I'm telling you, this fucking director, like, went out. This movie reminds me of, like, Halloween Kills. You know, like Halloween Kills has to do with like that fire element, and Michael Myers it's more like the killings, and you know, people were bashing like, you know, the writing a little bit, like, you know, evil dies tonight. They're like, oh fuck. People are kind of like that with this Evil Dead. You get people praising the blood, the gore, the brutality. It's mainly about these kills. It's different, but people are kind of bashing like the characters and the writing and shit, just like Halloween Kills. So it really reminds me, both remind me of each other because it seems like the main focus for both those movies were just like killing. You know what I mean? And not that this movie just about fucking bringing you deaths, because there's a lot of shit going on. But really, I mean, like, you know, there's so much killings and people getting killed that there's no really major character development too heavy because that fucker's gonna get slaughtered already. I really think that's the point, guys. I really think it's like, let's not build up these characters too much because they're gonna get fucking slaughtered already. Now, I know that we have to give them feels and make them likable and things like that, but I think with this Evil Dead and it already at that 2-hour mark and then wanting to show us this new formula and blueprint to put us on, I think we need to go ahead and cut a little bit of character conversations to go ahead and give us more. It's either like, do you guys want more character convos, Quentin Tarantino, or you want Evil Dead horror? And I really think that he cut like maybe convos and feels and shit like that to give more of an Evil Dead feel horror movie. This is a 2-hour movie, guys, hour and 50 minutes. Shit went by like fucking Army of Darkness, like an hour and 20. This is the longest Evil Dead movie right here. I believe Army of Darkness is one of the shorter films right there. It's one of my fucking favorites. But guys, you know, this 2 hours right here went by fast as fuck. Both times. Saw this on Thursday. And the first time I saw this on Thursday, guys, I was kind of fucking annoyed because fucking idiots, you know. One thing I hate, guys, I don't know what it is with Evil Dead, but when I go see Evil Dead in theaters, these fucking movies right here, guys, I'm always getting fucked with in the theaters. You know what I mean? There's always people hella loud, people talking, people moving, people flinching, people burping, people eating. There's all this shit. And it's just fucking too much, guys. You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, ballistic, but I don't know, man. I don't know if it's because these fools are so fucking happy for Evil Dead or they don't give a fuck. That's one thing that bothers me. It's one thing if you're so happy, dude, and you're moving around that, you know, you're shitting your fucking pants of excitement. That's fine. You know what I mean? I get it. But if you're just on your phone like, yeah, man, hey, when's lunch? Like, you know, in the middle of the movie, it's like, all right, dude, you know, what the fuck you doing? It's disrespectful. You know, just shit like that. I had these kids next to me on Evil Dead Burn yesterday, and at first I thought they're going to be a problem. You know, because they kept laughing and, you know, whatever, and just talking over trailers and just making sound effects. And I was like, oh gosh, man, again? I got redoing this. I told myself I'm about to get vicious, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna give you guys about fucking 20 minutes. Otherwise, I'm gonna turn into a fucking deadite. All right, you guys ain't seen nothing yet. And then something just hit me where I looked over at them, man, and these fools just genuinely looked like they were having fun and fucking getting scared. And I saw one of his homies, man, like just genuinely like stuck on the screen, and he was hella smiling and just scared, having fun, like, made me feel bad for a bit, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like, these fools, they're literally just wanting to watch a movie, hang out, and just fucking, everyone interprets movies differently, guys. Everyone interprets things differently, like music and movies. And that shit right there, man, I was just ready to fucking have a bone to pick. Like Army of Darkness. I'm like, you know what, man? I don't want this movie ruined, man. These guys are fucking being just whatever. And although they were really reactive of the movie, it honestly, guys, pumped up the movie. You know what I mean? I used it as like a negative thing, as a positive. I'm like, you know what? Instead of trying to disregard and ignore, like, these people reacting and talking, whatever. Soak in their reactions. The movie is so fucking awesome and crazy and bloody and raw that it's honestly really cool. And as a horror fan, guys, I'm a horror fan and I love movies in general. And it's cool to see, like, just an audience just get their, like, reactions and shit, watching these films and just being like, oh, fuck, like, like, I looked over at these fools, man, when they were being loud, and they genuinely looked like they're invested and happy with the movie. It was actually really cool to see. So the experience yesterday watching the film actually was a whole lot better, and I'd say enhanced because of those dudes, man. People like that. That just really just react at the right things and the right time, and just show just fucking passion, just like me. Like, I'm telling you, they reacted at the right scenes. I swear, like, there were times where one of the girls would use like a chainsaw or something violent would happen, like, and stuff like that. And I remember being in my seat, like, like, ready and shit, like, just pumped up too. And then they sat right next to me, and it just seemed like it was like same time, catching ourselves both going, like, some violent shit. So guys, I like that shit. I like a audience theater reaction to movies, and even at like live shows, like when your favorite song comes on and everyone else around you's like, fuck yeah, like shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I love like that type of shit. I'm happy for the director. You know what I mean? Like, seeing his vision like just come to life, like, you know what I mean? Like, him putting these brutal ass scenes together and seeing the audience just like, fuck, man, like, it's pretty awesome. Because me, guys, I'm pretty used to this shit. I watch these horror movies and I'm used to fucking people getting slaughtered and shit like that. It's brutal. But with other people, like, it's funny and cool to like see like these new bear reactions, like, oh my god. Like, with me, I'm just like, man, I'm so used to this shit, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder what kind of movie I'd make, even type of shit. But guys, like, really, and I'm gonna go ahead and mention something on this part, guys. This is probably gonna be like a spoiler scene. Nothing that's gonna be, well, actually, I guess you can consider it a spoiler because it's not in the preview, it's not in the trailer, and it's like an element in the movie. But I want to go ahead and share, like, this part right here, okay? Now, I'm going to give you guys just 5 seconds. If you want to pause, if you want to forward, or you want to come back to this video, I'm going to count to 5, and I'm going to go and share something that may be a little spoiler alert-ish, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I warn you. Alright, guys, so I'm going to give us little spoiler things right here, okay? It's from Evil Dead Burn. Alright, so guys, in the beginning of the movie, when I was talking about settings, what we have is we go to a club really quick. We go to a club, and yeah, some shaking that ass, and no nudity where it's like tits bouncing and like hella explicit, but we go to a club, and we get introduced to Alice and her boyfriend. Now, we just get like this small little take and try to see like what they're like, and we get this take that he's abusive, he's kind of an asshole, he hella likes her, she seems tired of his shit, she wants to back off, kind of done with this stuff, goes about her business. They own a restaurant together, work at like, I think that they work at this club and restaurant and a club. Something like, I know it's a restaurant for sure, and I believe it's in the club. But guys, so beginning of the movie, we get, now I don't want to go ahead and share like details, whatever stuff, but what I want to go ahead and say for the people that know what I'm talking about, if you know, you know, is that main boyfriend character turning into like that, how would you explain him? Burning Deadite? I don't know how to explain him. Now, guys, I'm a little on and off with that character right there. I like it. I love the idea, the execution. I love the idea and how they threw this in there. I thought that was fucking awesome. One thing that just kind of throws me just a little bit like a love-hate relation, an on and off thing about this character and like, you know, this ending is kind of like the line delivery, the vocal, you know, effect on his voice, and kind of the way he looks up close. I think he looks great from afar. I think the way he's standing and this giant dead, I remember even seeing this Deadite, pictures of him and like in the trailer and whatever, and thinking that like, whoa, dude, like that looks like a big motherfucker right there. Like, who the hell is that? That has to be like a main villain or something. Turns out it is. And he looks really effective, guys, but I just think kind of up close, he really reminds me of like these creatures from like The Gorge. If you guys have seen that movie right there, it came out last year, I believe, with Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy, or, you know, stuff like that. Directed by Scott Derrickson, who made Sinister. And I like the movie. I think the movie's great. But the problem I had with it, guys, was kind of like the monster effects, kind of, and you know, and things of that nature. Now, I thought, you know, this movie's pace was really good, and then it kind of goes into this ending that's a little different pace. It's a little kind of different right here. You know, it really seems like an ending that was like a sacrifice. And although, you know what I mean, guys, I really dig this movie. I gotta say that ending, I just would have fixed his voice, his look, and just maybe some of the lines. You know what I mean? Because I really just felt that, like his voice when he's trying to sound intimidating, when he's talking to Alice, kind of came off a little cheesy a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, until death do us part. You understand? Like, I don't know, it just kind of like seemed like it was like not so like a threatening matter. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I hate that when scenes like this where it's like we're at the end, we just been through all this, all these crazy deadites, all these viciousness, and then we get to this and then we get to this main villain, and he's just hella chill about shit, just like, I already told you, till death does its part. You know what I mean? You know me, I'm tired of the bullshit. It's like, dude, like, you know, this is the guy right here that, you know, is like the main villain, all right, you know, but guys, other than that, you know, and it's not really even like a negative. It was just something that I kind of like just want to tweak and fix a little bit. I mean, just fix his voice, maybe have him say a couple different lines and tweak up a little bit of the effects on him. I think that the way his face looked a little up close, like, again, not too threatening, not too scary, not mean. And this movie has a whole mean-ass tone to it. So I thought that, you know, and I don't know, just shit like that. And, another character I want to go ahead and say, guys, where I'm not going to lie, I see where they are going with this. I really see where they are going, is the grandma. I think the grandma in this movie right here, guys, I think that the comedy lines she says and does are kind of pointless. All right, like, you know, she kind of just like, she's kind of out of it the whole movie, so it's not really her fault. But I feel like she's kind of there to kind of like give like this charm after something brutal happens and just kind of make people laugh. But first of all, like her acting and, you know, the lines and just whatever, it's just kind of like whatever. Like they're kind of just like slip under the rug shit. But man, like, you know, what I want to say, guys, is really just like every character beyond, I would say, like, yeah, the grandma, you know, she was in a wheelchair and didn't really do much in this movie, so it's not her fault. Shout out to all the grandmas. But I'm telling you guys, like, I mean, every character in this movie, I gotta say, what I dug was the acting, you know, especially from the not younger brother, but the brother in this movie. The one that's kind of like a nerd and shit that falls like on those spikes and knives and shit. That I really thought, guys, his acting in this all throughout, I thought that he looked scared, he looked nervous, he looked, you know, anxious. He gets his ass handed to him, this whole thing. Even with Alice, you know, I thought that Alice, you know, and another thing I want to point out in this movie, guys, with this Evil Dead is there's not like too much talking from characters. And I think that's what gives this movie a lack of maybe strong character development, is that it's not like, Evil Dead 2013, where a lot of combos are going on. Although we know about, information about these characters, but there's Alice in this movie with the pink hair. She doesn't have too much dialogue in this. She really doesn't. I really feel like the bald Deadite in this movie had more. But honestly, guys, I think it's because the movie is French. If you watch Infested, there's no English conversation in that movie at all. Everything is dubbed. But in this movie, guys, I really think that everyone did really good on actually speaking English and French. I don't know if everybody was French, but I do know that the girl Alice is French in this. She goes back and forth. And also her having two roles, something in Dune Part 2 and with this one right here. So really dug what she was given, the versatility that she has, really just having to act scared and fucking just bring it on all scenes. And if we're talking scenes, guys, best scene for me is that scene where it's just fucking one shot. I thought that was brilliant, something awesome, something I've never seen in a horror movie, actually. Something so versatile. I swear, this director, I know he put a lot of work into these scenes, the camera work, even sound designs. Very interesting shit in this movie, guys, I'm telling you. Kills are different, characters different, settings different. It's just a really dark, mean take on horror. You know what I mean? Yeah, guys, I gotta say, not only is this like this Evil Dead movie is just fucking breaking barriers. Longest Evil Dead, bloodiest Evil Dead, meanest Evil Dead, most explicit Evil Dead, most versatile Evil Dead. We just have so much shit going on for an hour and a 50-minute movie that it really just causes for like just a fucking experience rather than a movie. It's something different, guys. It is something deep, dark, demented, and fun. All right. This shit right here, I'm telling you, this is something that I think would be really cool, fun to have at Halloween Horror Nights. I think this would be cool to have at having the apartment setting and then just having these fucking deadites popping out. That's another thing, guys, really just the amount of deadites we get in this movie. You can get the mom, the dad, the grandma, the son. Everybody just fucked up in this movie. That I'm saying, you can have everyone pop out from every corner, every room, scare the shit out of you and just fucking keep it moving, especially the grandma. The fucking grandma, just so you know, explicit and mean in this. I thought the grandma, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought the grandma looked a little funny with the teeth and shit, you know what I mean? She looked, but she wasn't meant to be fucking scary and demented. But man, in the end, when the grandma is possessed and she gets like, possessed and mean, man, she says some crazy lines, you know what I mean? Would you mind grabbing that saw and cutting this bitch's face, please? Like, it's pretty fucking hardcore. There is just blood all over the place, nasty griminess. Honestly, guys, like it was so much fun to watch this and to hear just with the audience. I'm telling you, like, it really seemed like these guys were, the audience just were Evil Dead fans. It just feels like we're just this fandom, just this cult, just here, just experience, just this Evil Dead, just a new Evil Dead living in times. And guys, letting you know this right now. Evil Dead season is upon us, all right? We are getting a bunch of evil, and also with The Mummy having an Evil Dead take, Evil Dead Burn, Evil Dead Wrath, just so much good shit going on, guys. It's going to be a fucking great year for horror. It's already being great for horror with Obsession, Backrooms, Evil Dead. We're getting Ice Cream Man from Eli Roth, so really good versatility, and I really think it's going to be a bloody year, really. No pun intended, bloody nails. But I'm telling you guys, really, Evil Dead Burn, this was so much fun, so versatile. This director got my attention. And ain't nothing better, guys, than watching a movie. You love the movie, you respect the movie, and then you get to know the cast. You get to know the cast, how they are, what movies they've done, what the director's done, what he wants to do next. And the director is doing so well right now that he's even in talks to want to do a remake of The Mask with Jim Carrey. Now, he has said that The Mask with Jim Carrey is originally a little bit more brutal and dark and action-filled. Now, that's not what I remember from Jim Carrey's The Mask, I think the director may have made it a little bit more comedic. But I love these directors that want to go ahead and, grab an idea and then just use their own take on it. Not just snatching an idea, remaking it. Let me redo this, something that's been done before, but I can do it better. not those vibes, you know. It's more of, you know, grabbing an idea and then I'm just gonna like give my own spin on it. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. I think in today we need originality, we need creativeness, we need something different. A lot of directors are coming through, a lot of new directors, young directors coming in the game with debuts of just new creative shit. Backrooms, Obsession, Talk to Me, all these movies where these YouTubers even are making films, and it's great to see that, guys. It's great to see that these YouTubers are starting off from scratch, living their dream. I believe we even had a film last year, Shelby Oaks, from another director, another YouTuber. So it seems like these days, guys, YouTubers could be like really like the next directors. Who knows? There's even another director I know on YouTube, Cecil Laird from The Horror Show, making Freddy Krueger remakes and fan films and things like that. Dave McRae with Black Christmas, It's Me, Billy. I love that shit, guys. You know, I'm just a matter of time till I make my fan film, making fucking, you know, that's always been a thing right there, guys. I mean, you know, always, I make music, love making music, but if I can get my hands and make a film, man, it's fucking over, baby. I'm telling you guys right now, I'll be bringing it all, bringing the blood, gore, viciousness, just like Evil Dead Burn. And Evil Dead Burn, guys, I think I can fucking just surely, confidently say this, is that this is probably going to be the most brutal, vicious, best movie I think I've got into and called it of 2026, guys. Now, with the movies that are coming out, they do look good. They look great, actually. But is it Evil Dead Burn? Evil Dead Burn is known to be one of the best franchises out there. Evil Dead, you know, Army of Darkness, just all these movies right here, guys, just hold high regards and standards to these just horror fans, and even myself included. Even non-horror fans can watch Army of Darkness and Evil Dead and just have a great time. These movies are their own thing. It's literally like if fucking Looney Tunes met, you know, Hostel, and just met, you know, just, you know, Cabin in the Woods, or just, you know, just this evil just take. And Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, even have their names in this film right here, guys, you know. Now, these directors and these people, although they're all new directors, it's a new director in every new film, but all these directors are affiliated. You know, Bruce Campbell will have his hands in Evil Dead Burn. Sam Raimi will have his hands in Evil Dead Burn. Fede Alvarez has his hands in Evil Dead Burn. Lee Cronin has his hands in Evil Dead Burn. So all these past directors, luckily for the new director for Evil Dead Burn, has so much hands, no pun intended, so much hands, just, you know what I mean, just in the mix to help with this movie, that just to carry it, I'm telling you, like, I mean, just so much help in catering, and so much takes from people, and, you know, from reliable sources even, where these people are telling them, be like, you know, man, do it like this, we're going to do it like this. And who better than Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, really? Now, guys, no more spoilers, but there is not a Bruce Campbell in this movie. There hasn't been in fucking 30 years. All right? There's never going to be a Bruce Campbell or Ash Williams in these movies anymore. I really don't think. No one can hold the regard of Hail to the King, baby. Okay? No one can fucking hold that standard. These final girls are great. You know, they do such a great job. I think for me, guys, the final girls, the best final girls, it goes Evil Dead, Evil Dead Burn, and then Evil Dead Rise. I think the girl in Evil Dead just did fucking just perfect. And I think the mom in Evil Dead Rise, she was vicious. She brought that meanness, you know. Mommy's with the maggots now. And with Evil Dead Burn, man, that fucking dad right there, man, he don't fuck around in this movie. In this movie, I'm telling you, it is just all of them. I think all of them really bring it. I think that with the trauma and the fucking stress and pissed off and mean nature that they're dealing with prior to them getting possessed. Another thing I want to say, guys, I thought this thing was actually pretty awesome. When the dad is turning into a deadite and he's trying to get the saw ready and shit, you know? And he tells the son, you know, he's like, we leave you this house and you let it fucking rot. What, do you like living in shit? I thought that was actually pretty awesome right there. This deadite, he's sick. He's out of his head. He's fucking evil. He wants to kill everybody, but he still wants a clean house. I like that. I think that right there is pretty fucking awesome right there. You know what I mean? There's clean deadites, man. You know, we will fucking leave blood everywhere. Blood from the ceiling, blood pouring everywhere. But we want a clean house. We want that shit picked up. We want the lawn mowed. I mean, come on, man. We're deadites. We're evil, but we still have OCD, okay? We want shit clean. I thought that was awesome. Just really, guys, just the takes of them getting possessed and... Oh gosh, man, that fucking dinner scene with the wine bottle and the fucking bottle opener and the knives. If you know what scene I'm talking about, guys, yeah, no. With the dog. Now, when I was watching that scene again yesterday, guys, I swear to God, that shit was hitting so much harder than the first time. I swear, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, this fucking scene right here is actually, it's really suspenseful. And, man, I'm telling you, you know, I've heard about people talking about animal abuse. They don't like animal abuse at movies and all like these things. This movie doesn't hold back. And I know that Evil Dead had a dog get killed. Remember, Grandpa. That was the dog's name in Evil Dead. Grandpa. And he got fucking slaughtered. It showed it, you know, but it showed more of like her killing the dog from like up above, you know, or from like down below to up above. So we just see her face swinging and blood and all this shit. But with Evil Dead Burn, man, there's a fucking brutal dog kill scene in here that's actually really vicious. I'm not gonna lie, that, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. You know, this movie right here is not for the faint of heart. It is not one of those that, you know, like it's kind of like, you know, it has a lot of mean things going on all throughout. And, man, I'm telling you, you know, kudos to the writing department, the makeup department, definitely the makeup department. I think the makeup and just like the effects, the wounds, the blood, the stabbings, the head, you know, just all of the amputations, the fucking dismemberments, they are so realistic. That is what gives it like its disturbing nature. I mean, when throats are getting cut, fucking all these heads getting ripped off, it looks real. So this director, man, you know, he's just bringing, I think that, you know, this director right here really just has an eye and ear. And for movies, really, his previous movie was that spider movie, Infested. And if you see the camera work to that movie, guys, I'm telling you, like just by the way that great camera work. I'm telling you, Sebastian, you were up next, and you caught my attention, and the rest of the folks in the movie theater, if you were to hear, you would have been pleased. The reaction was awesome, so was mine. You're blowing people away, my guy. Shit is hot. Fiery. So, guys, Evil Dead Burn, check it out if you haven't. This shit is fun. This shit is the fucking highlight inferno of the summer. I'm telling you, I'm calling it. This may be, I don't know if it's going to be grossing-wise, the biggest hit of the summer in 2026. But guys, for me, this movie right here is a standout, a standalone of Evil Dead. Gonna do an Evil Dead ranking probably again to give some updates because this Evil Dead Burn has surpassed other entries, strong entries in the franchise. But guys, thanks for sticking with me on this one. Evil Dead Burn. Try to make this one a little bit, you know, not so spoilerific and all this stuff. But you know what, guys? So much to talk about with Evil Dead. Just can't hold back. And, just can't contain the fun. So, guys, do yourselves a favor. Rush to the theaters. Evil Dead Burn out now. Have yourself some fun. Get hot. Get spicy. And if I were you, I'd take a loved one or a family member even because this shit's vicious. And get together. Have fun. And let's talk about it, guys. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Deuces!